Terrific Tuesday, and welcome to another episode of Sisters Against Kidney Disease. I am your host, Cyrelle, and I want to apologize for the tardiness of this particular broadcast. Our guest and myself was having severe technical difficulties, and we're hoping that we can actually get her squared away because her story is one I think some of us may not always take into consideration of being a reality. So this evening's live is going to talk about remaining triumphant in the face of tragedy. Now, on this journey with kidney disease, there's so many unexpected twists and turns that can happen. And if you're not mentally strong and fortified, this journey can overwhelm you and it could bring you to your knees. And this particular guest, her story is, what do you do while waiting for a transplant? Your loved one doesn't make it. And I wanted to bring her on, not to make any of us feel sad or fearful while we're on this journey, because there's no fear. And I say this in my previous shows, but I want to say it again. Even though we are dealing with kidney disease, it is not the end of our story. It does not have to be the final chapter of your book. There's still life to be lived, and life lived abundantly. So I can't reiterate that enough. Even though kidney disease it's not a cakewalk, it's not a final destination. So don't get stuck there and don't stay there. But I didn't want to always gloss over the fact that some of our fellow warriors did not win the battle on this side of this journey. Some have gone on to be angels. And what do we do when someone we love is facing kidney disease or any other chronic illness? But for this particular show, we talk about kidney disease. What do you do when your loved one doesn't make it on this journey, or you yourself, your labs are still showing a decline, a rapid decline in your kidney function, or you're not responding as well to treatment as you thought you would? What do you do in those situations? How do you remain optimistic? How do you keep hope alive when your body itself feels like it's betraying you? I know that there are particular warriors that I go to treatment with, and it is a burden. It is a heaviness because they don't see that there's a way out. But my guest for this evening, Miss Larramore, she has lived through something so detrimental. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Glad to be here.
Thank you so much for being here.
You're
I was just
welcome.
sharing that sometimes on this journey, the victory is won through a loved one becoming an angel. And how do you remain triumphant in the face of tragedy? And I saw your video, and there was such joy and it was still such zeal and life. And I'm like, how do you remain light and just wonderful when you lose the love of your life? And from the story, y'all was on this journey for not a long time together.
No.
So, Miss Larramore, would you
Yeah.
please tell us your story?
Oh, well, wow, that was so beautiful. And your introduction was so heartwarming. I'm listening to you like, oh, wow, man, she sounds good. Who's she talking about? You know, So, this really has been a journey. My husband and I met in 2015, and we were finally married January 1st, 2017. As you said, he definitely was the love of my life. And to lose him,
Right.
it still hurts. So
Yes,
I cannot, I'm not gonna lie, I can't sugarcoat it. It hurts, even as far as today, you get a little misty and like, man, I just really miss him.
right.
But what I do, I keep God first. That is my joy. He is the light that
Yes, sir.
shineth in me. And I tell people all the time, look, this move Naishanda out of the way. This is God.
Right.
And my faith, my trust, and, my hope and my prayer is always, God, keep me sane, because I
Yes.
know the devil tries to really, really try to take over and steal your mind. But, I was brought up in the word. And
Right.
I know there's a whole lot of people that pray for me. So that is, and still praying. So when I don't know how I'm making it, I get a
Right.
message that say, "Hey, sis, I'm praying for you." And I'm just humbled and touched that somebody would, not find it robbery to just
Right.
still keep praying for me, 9 months later, and to be able to tell my story. Just begin a little bit. When we got married January 1st, in October 31st, he went into the hospital. And that was pretty much the last time that he came home. And so we started this journey, and we wanted to let people know the importance of becoming an organ donor.
Right.
What's so important is people don't get here until it slaps them in the face, until reality just really, really slaps you in the face, because organ donation was nothing that we didn't talk about.
Right.
It wasn't a conversation at the dinner table. Like, all right, you gonna be an organ donor? Like, what are you talking about? Like, who does that? So we wanted people to know just how very, very important it was, to become organ donor. So we set out on our mission. And this all happened because of my daughter. I'm a teacher, so she
Okay.
comes to school with me.
Okay.
And, Pamela Rittenhouse from Donate Life and Life Quest was at the school doing a presentation. And my baby said, "Listen, before you leave, I want you to talk to my mom, because my stepdad has congestive heart failure, and he has a artificial heart. He has an LVAD." And so from then it clicked. And so up until that time, we started doing our interviews, letting people know, letting our families get involved and letting them know. And in April, he passed away. So April 25th, he passed away. And, I know this is about kidney. So we had a small stint with kidneys, because he needed a heart and a kidney. And so being in that hospital 5.5 months at Mayo Hospital, I learned a lot. So
Right.
as my friend, the Taylors, my friend Horace said, "Sis, you earned a doctorate in everything, that I had to, deal with."
Right.
I had to learn about that creatinine level.
Yes.
I had to learn about that potassium. And if that potassium dropped, he dropped.
Right.
And there were, many, many times that I had to see that. I had to see my husband potassium drop. And because he had an ICD, it shocked him back to life. And, I would stand over him and yell his name, like, "Baby, please just come back to me."
Right.
And, I tell anybody, if your loved one is going through this, if you're not a ride, don't do
Right.
it.
Right.
Don't do it, because they need all the support. I needed support because of what we both were experiencing. It was definitely brand new to us, or definitely brand new to me, although he had been dealing with congestive heart failure for a long time. But the kidney, I went in the room with him, and because he did dialysis in the hospital,
Right.
um, he went those, 3 days a week, and he would be in there for those long hours. And, I asked all those questions. "Hey, can I come? I want to see what's going on," because I'm just that overprotective wife. I just want to make sure
Right.
that, he's doing okay. And, most of the times I went up there once, but he did that from March, like around March, middle part of March, up until the day they put him in ICU. And they were pulling the fluid off of him. And that
Right.
was a big, big concern, because, my sweetie was a big guy. And so he was, 6'1", over 300. So they were really trying to pull the fluid off of him. And, he was concerned. They mentioned catheters and his eyes got that big because he didn't know exactly what type of catheter they were going to use or what port
Right.
they were going to use. So all of this new terminology that I'm learning pertaining to kidneys. And I knew, one organ wanted the kidney dry. One organ wanted the kidney wet. And
Right.
man, you talk about a juggling act. I had to watch what or how much he drunk every day.
Right. Now, if we could just back up for a little bit.
Okay.
What was the cause of your husband's congestive heart failure? And like, how did he become on this journey? Like, how did that start?
Well, it started many moons ago before he met me. And he was an athlete, and
Okay.
he played in the NFL for the Buffalo Bills and the Carolina Panthers. And so, he's doing a lot of extra workouts and putting a lot of strain on his heart. And his heart, did get enlarged. He did develop hypertension
Right.
and high blood pressure, just like me. And so those were one of the things, the telltale signs that, hey, something is wrong. And so when he was living in California before he came back to Jacksonville, that was one of the things that he didn't necessarily tell me right off the bat. He did not, want me to know all of these things was happening. And he went into the hospital. I'm like, well, what's wrong with you? Like,
Right.
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 In the hospital, what's going on with your heart? And, by then I had just fallen in love with this gentle giant that he was. And, we both said, wow, we wish we would have met each other sooner so that maybe we could have, fought
More
this thing
time.
together. But we did what we were supposed to do. We met when we were supposed to meet.
Absolutely.
And everything happens for a reason. But he left me such a good memory of how it feels to be loved, truly loved by somebody. So.
And that is beautiful. And again, I wasn't aware of your story previously until Steve shared. And again, just the way you honor your husband, even now,
Yes.
I'm like, this woman is amazing.
Oh.
When you speak of him, you light up, right? And I'm like, you're not faking that. I'm
right.
like, just as she loves him. I said, Naishanda loves him.
Thank you.
Whatever love that you two shared, I'm like, she's using that to honor his legacy. And in the video, it wasn't, whoa, it's me, I lost my husband. It was one of empowerment. Okay, we didn't get the ending that we thought we was going to get, but he was still a phenomenal man and he fought a good fight. And because of my love and our love together, I'm going to make sure his legacy lives on. And not only that, you're making sure nobody else has to walk this walk if they don't need to.
I said those same words. Yes, you channeled me, because that is exactly, how I felt. I don't want another woman, or daughter, to feel this, pain. Unfortunately, we had my bonus son, 12 years old when his father passed away.
Oh.
And, I know he loved his dad, he loved him very much. And that is, my journey. When I tell my story about looking at the video, A Question of Faith, man, it changed my life. I fought tooth and nail not to watch that movie with God on Father's Day. And God was like, ma'am, I'm not waiting for you to heal, because you have work to do. Never in my life did I ever see this being part of my journey or part of my story.
Right.
Because getting divorced before I was 40 years old, or by the time I'm 40, I'm divorced. I've lost a child. And then losing my husband, I had to seriously talk with God. Like, really? Is this what you really plan for me? Like, you can talk to God and it's okay, And since then, I've been able to just get in there, get in the trenches. Like I just went out Saturday to talk to more women about becoming organ donors. And again, these are sisters that are saying, I never thought about it. I never thought about doing it before. But, God has a plan for your life. And my thing is, hey, you can do it voluntarily or you can do it involuntarily. But either way, you're going to do it. So I chose to cry my way through it just to show people, hey, it can be done. It hurts. It definitely hurts. But you're doing something, you're saving lives. And most people won't have the opportunity to do a lot of honorable things in their life. But man, what a way to say, hey, when I pass away, I want to save 7 people or I want to save 8 lives by becoming an organ donor.
Absolutely. And of course, you see me now, Miss
I
Shonda.
do.
Cyrelle, she had a technical difficulty that
Oh.
abruptly caused her to lose signal. So I'm taking her place for the moment. But what has been the most challenging part of this journey for you?
Well, initially, after his passing, the first thing was, now what's my new normal? That's been the most challenging because my life was take care of him, take care of him, take care of him. So now the challenging part was, okay, now you definitely need to make sure that whatever you do, like she said, do it and in his memory and honor him. So now going out and being able to speak to people about becoming organ donors, where you have people that will kind of shoo you off or shun you, like, and give you just the craziest answers on why they should not become an organ donor. That has been the biggest obstacle. The myths
Mhm.
that people have about organ donation, those
Mhm.
have been, the biggest challenge.
Mhm.
On this journey because we lack education and we lack knowledge. And, if you don't know, then you will stay in the dark. So it's my job to kind of help people bring it to light on what's going on, especially kidneys being like the number one. Hey, you're back. Being the number one organ that is needed, especially in the multicultural community. I don't think people really understand. I literally can count on my fingers and toes how many people now I have met that needed a kidney and that were
Right.
going through dialysis. And even even young kids, like it just amazes me how people won't talk about it. So yeah, that is a big challenge, but I can definitely say God has birthed a lot of great things, a lot of good things out of the passing of my husband. And as he would say, all of this is because of me. And I would have to look at him and say, well, yeah, you're right. It is because of you that this is happening. So because of him, Save 1,000 Lives did, come out of this.
Wow.
And just recently, well, let me explain Save 1,000 Lives. So
Okay.
Save 1,000 Lives is me through Donate Life and LifeQuest trying to register 1,000 people to become an organ donor. So that's my mission to be able to do. And I just plan to travel. School is out in like 3 months. So I
Right.
plan to be out and, get the word out, a lot more. And just to bring people into the fold of what is going on and how very important it is, for it. So between that and just recently I launched my widow group on Facebook,
Okay.
and it is WI, DOW, and it stands for Women Intentionally Discovering Our Way.
Oh,
And it's just for us to be able to just us talk. So
right.
while we are talking, people don't understand this, what we have as a widow. And I know people don't want you to claim it all the time. I didn't like the word, so I had to change the word to make sure I could cope with it because it was so, I felt like I had the scarlet letter, like Laverne and Shirley, like Laverne had that big L on her chest. That's how I felt like there was a W and people began to, and kind of pity you and stuff like that. And I was like, no, I have to be intentional in everything that I'm doing because I am a woman and I have to be intentional and I have to discover who I am without my husband now, but still honor him at the same time. So I am Naishanda Larramore, but I'm a woman that's intentionally doing Save 1,000 Lives in honor of my husband.
And, again, not only are you doing it, it's for me, because I am on this journey. I need a kidney, and sometimes I think people forget, right, that because sometimes I forget, right, because my journey is to bring awareness. I want to help as many fellow warriors live and thrive and be amazing on this journey. I don't want anybody to ever feel that kidney disease is the end of their story.
Right.
So if that means we do this every week, every day, that's what I want to do. But it's the way that you do it. Again, people can do what you do and be sad or be angry or be bitter. And from your pictures, your videos, you get none of that. None of that. There is such like a humility and like honor. Like, it's like, okay, Lord, you chose me to love this man. And in the midst of loving this man, I still get to do your work. And if y'all have not seen her video, please check out her video. It is such an inspiring thing to see someone who lost their loved one to say, you know what? I didn't get what I was believing for my way, but God still had purpose in this. And you know what? This journey wasn't even about me. It's for other people. And she's committed to helping at least 1,000 people. Now, if there's over 140 plus thousand people in need of a donation.
That's right.
What is 1,000?
Right.
That should be a drop in the bucket. So her mission, right? Miss Larramore's mission is to make sure someone doesn't have to suffer the same fate she has. But here's the thing, she's graced for it because there's such love and light in her heart when she talks about her husband and when she shares his story. So if you know someone, which we all do, encourage them to become a living donor. Absolutely. And I always tell people, I don't always ask for myself because I believe as I help somebody else get their donation, God will honor and remember me. So I want to help push you. So give us the website. How can we sign up? What can we do to help get your husband's story out and your organization? How can we help you get your 1,000? I'm believing we're going to exceed that because 1,000 is low on this journey.
Well, you got to have a target.
I know, but we're going to exceed that.
Yes. So my target was 1,000 because of the movie, A Question of Faith. And when he showed it to me, and I encourage anyone to watch that movie, I'm not getting paid for it.
Where will we find that at?
Yes. Actually, I seen it on Netflix. Okay. A Question of Faith, and it is about organ donations. And God, it was just so inspiring that I knew God was speaking to me with that. But if we're in Florida, so DonateLifeFlorida.org, where everyone that's in Florida can go and they can register. And once they finish, I think I just paused here. Hello.
Can you see me?
I see you. Can you see me or hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Because I'm paused. But if they go to donate, like, can you see my hand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I can see it. They go to Donate Life.
There we go. Yeah, so this is our, I don't know what my thing is, but that is our...
Bit. Bring it down just a little.
Okay.
A little more.
A little
right
more.
There. Okay, right there. So it says Life Quest.
Yes, Life Quest and Donate Life. And I'm just going to turn it, like if they go to DonateLifeFlorida.org and they complete the application, it will ask, how did you hear about us? And then they can click on other, and then Save 1,000 Lives. And that is how we're tracking how many people we've registered for Save 1,000 Lives. So donatelifeflorida.org, donatelifeflorida.org, and click finish application, click or and then Save 1,000 Lives. So it is so important, and it's definitely near and dear to my heart. And this is nothing that I woke up and saying hey, this is what I want to do. It was definitely God. It was divine intervention, because how all of this came about was by him passing away one day after his birthday. So it was April 24th was his birthday. He passed away on April 25th, the next day. And when we buried him May 5th, Mother's Day was the next weekend. My birthday was May 22nd.
Wow.
And then here we go, Father's Day. And that's when all of this came to life. And so as you can see, it did not take long. God did not say, I'm going to wait for you to stop grieving. I'm going to wait for you to stop crying. He said, I'm going to use you. And, people need to see that in good times and bad, I'm still here and I'm going to take care of you. And because of all of this, I have just come to know God in such a stronger and a better way. And it's the God in me that allows me to see everything that you so beautifully said, because it's definitely because of God, my faith in him, my pastor, oh my God, Bishop Rudolph McKissick, Jr. and Senior, like the words that they give me every day, or even just going to church and listening to them, it keeps you sane. The devil try to take your mind, but I stay covered. And there's a lot of people that pray for me. So I really do. And my church even let me hold I was there and we actually was signing, registering people up at my church.
Nice.
So I thank my church, Bethel Baptist Institutional Church, downtown Jacksonville, for allowing us, to even come in and bring awareness to, organ donation. So that really is my mission. It really, really is.
And you're doing it with such class and grace. I must say that you really are.
Yeah.
Now, if nothing else, because I think for myself, sometimes I forget that even on this journey, everybody may not be a believer in Christ, right? And,
right.
What would be your universal takeaway for this journey, for anybody on this journey? And I mean chronic illness, because a lot of people that are dealing with kidney disease also are dealing with other challenges as well. So, yes, ma'am.
That's a very good question. That's a very good question, because I've met some people that say, listen, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in God. And, I could tell I could tell people, well, this is a good one. I had a person tell me, I don't believe in God, but I believe you were God sent.
Mm.
And I was taken aback. I thought that was so beautiful for him to say that to me. I would, God is love. I don't know any other way to say it, but if it had not been for him on my side, I just don't know what I would do. I don't even know how to make it without him. So, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how that feels. I just, I encourage them to, just keep having the faith. I would say be around some people that can definitely be your village, be there for you, because although you are going through it as the patient, that's very hard to see your loved one to go through those circumstances. And as a former caregiver, there were some days that you just tired, you just worn out, but you keep pushing because of your loved one. So yeah, I don't know what to say. Without God, I'm nothing.
Right. And I know, and that, that is so hard to ask someone who is in God,
Yeah.
But I like to ask because, of course, the point of this show one is to get people's story out.
Yes.
to help get people's story out, to help empower, and to provide hope and encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know for me personally, I wouldn't want to try to do this without him. I don't ever want to try to do this without him. And I'm like, Lord, what is it in your word, or even in how you work through my life, that I can show you without always
having you there, yeah, putting God on them. Yes, yes. I love hugging people.
Right. And I was about to
Yeah.
say, for somebody who has watched your video, and I keep going back to this video because when I saw it, it just blew me away. So
Mm-hmm.
I think if people just see you,
Mm-hmm.
just spend time around you, they'll see it without you even
Mm-hmm.
having to say so much, because
Mm-hmm.
there was just a love that just comes through. It's not fake. It's not prompted. It's just who you are.
Thank you.
And I think that's who you were even before connecting with your husband, but I think it magnified the sensitivity to other people's plight. But so even if you don't have to say it, they can see it. And, you know, when we was preparing for this, I was like, Lord, I don't want to do, disservice to what you've endured, because your story is different from some people. But I do know that there are some people on this journey who are fearful that may be the expected end, and or they have a loved one and they become fearful. And I wanted them to see someone who has lived through it, is living through it, and there's still joy, and there's still peace, and there's still hope. Like, it doesn't have to. Do you think there was anything within medical parameters that could have provided a different outcome?
Well, the downside was because he was so big. He was such a big guy, and his muscle mass was so big. Like his chest, it was so thick that the doctors were saying we never seen anybody with this much. Your chest is just amazing. So
Wow.
he needed to have a person, like a football player, to have passed away, to have been able to receive his heart. It had to be somebody that was over 6'2" or 6'3" and 200, or about, close to 300 pounds. So that heart didn't work over, if he had to go have a surgery. But my husband and I had a friend of his to come and visit him, and he was preparing us for what he was about to go through with his surgery. And he said something very profound. And my husband and I took that and ran with it. And we said, listen, we are in a win-win situation. If I stay, I win. If I go and be with the Lord, I win. And, when everything was happening, immediately my mind was like, Lord, please don't take my husband. Please do not take my husband.
Right.
And I said, but how can I be selfish? Because I knew at some point my husband was so tired. I had seen what he endured for 3 weeks.
Right.
And he was tired. He was just so tired. And I know a lot of people don't know that unless they were like immediately, in the room and to be able to see what he was enduring. But, once we had that, it's a win-win situation, because I knew that even if he had received and both organs, it still was going to be a journey. It still was going to be a fight. We still was going to have to go and, have all those different tests done yearly, monthly, and I had already seen what he endured when he had got the artificial heart. So I was like, oh my God, this is huge. Wow. So I had already seen it, and I know he was tired. He was just tired. So we showed each other every day.
Okay.
How much we loved each other.
Okay.
We celebrated, not tolerated each other.
Big difference.
Yes, a huge difference. So I read that quote one day, I thought we were supposed to spend the rest of our life together, but it turned out you were supposed to spend the rest of your life with me. And that's what you did. And when you passed away, you knew you were loved. When he passed away, the room was full. I know it was against code or something, because it was way too many people in the room when my husband passed away. So he did not go alone.
Okay.
And he was honored in every way.
Okay.
So that's the thing. I'm not gonna say that this road is easy, and
Right.
it for me when people tell you get over your grief real quick, or you didn't have a love like I had, so you can't tell me to get over whatever it
Right.
is that I'm doing. So when you walk one day in these shoes, then you tell me how easily you can get over the love of your life. Because I know he wasn't married that long, but he really was the love of my life. He really, really was.
Okay. I'm not gonna cry.
Please don't cry. I did
Okay.
that already.
Not
Yeah, please don't cry. I'm a water bag. I'm just a water bag.
what do you do on those days where the love is just overwhelming and you feel sadness? How do you pick yourself back up?
I cry.
Oh. Yes, ma'am.
I
Yes,
cry.
ma'am.
I cry. And another stigma we have as African Americans is that we don't go to therapy. I'm
Yes,
there.
ma'am.
I need God and a good therapist, and I'm worth it.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's my sanity, and I know the tea is not gonna kill me. So it's okay to cry. And I pray. I said, Lord, let me have a better day the next day. And I did. So you let it happen. You let the emotion come. You let the heavy grief or, a light grief day, whatever it is, you go through the motion.
Right.
Now, I always tell people you can kind of go there and you can stay there for a little while. You're entitled.
Right.
You're entitled, but don't stay there.
Right.
Don't stay there. That song, Whitney Houston, bending but not breaking.
Yes.
I don't know. This one broke me, but I'm still here, and God still mended me, and He's still the potter, and so He put the pieces back together, and we just take it. I say, okay, maybe the next hour I will be okay, or the next 30 seconds I'll be okay. But I let it happen. And I dream about my husband all the time. So that's still a smile because I still get to see him. So,
So now you said you're a teacher.
God, yes.
Have you? That's a tough job too. Since your assignment has changed, how do you incorporate the two? Are you finding that you're being more vocal with the parents about bringing awareness to living donations or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, my students are. I was very transparent with them, letting them know my journey of what I'm going through. And I believe as a teacher, you have to have that transparency. Your students have to see, hey, my teacher is human. She's definitely having, if I'm not having a good day, I try to separate the two, but I just try to tell the kids, we have a thing where we say, hey, it's a number 7 day. I'm not having a good day. So I allow them to have they don't have a good day. And one day I might not have a good day, but they do understand how important kids are more apt to become organ donors than let's just say the parents these days or the grandparents. The kids are in their mind, they tell me all the time, I'm not going to do anything with it. If I've passed away, guess what? They can have my organs. I don't have a problem. They don't try to sugarcoat it either. So they definitely they are on board. They show me all the time, look, I became an organ donor. And I look at them and say, really? And yes, so we have these little green bands on, and it says donate life, and they are anxious, they want to make sure that they have one, or at least it's on them so they can think about it when they're going to get their license or learner's permit and stuff. So yeah, I'm vocal about it. We even had a nice assembly at school as well. Donate Life came in to do a presentation. And so they found out about my story that way because they didn't have any clue. My coworkers didn't know what I was going through until, I kept it. I kept it because I didn't want anybody to pity me. So, but when they found out, First Coast High School, I have the best coworkers ever.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you have the village.
I do.
So, my last question.
Okay.
What do you want people to remember about your husband?
Ooh. He was first, he was a loving, kind gentleman. He definitely loved God. He had the biggest laugh ever. And sometimes at home it gets so quiet because all I want to do is hear that laugh or him, that big voice, which is what he had. And I I know that he loved God and he's probably up there laughing with God right now.
Right.
You know, he loved people. He's probably trying to protect God if he could because he was such a protector. And I just know there's no worries. I know he is inner, and I know people say that all the time. He's in a better place, but right now he's in a restful place because his body needed rest because it was shutting down, and he did feel that way. How you said earlier, like I just feel like my body is betrayed. I know the innermost thoughts of what he had and how he felt, but
Right.
he is a man that loved God. He loved his family, and most importantly, he loved me. So he was just a lover of people. He never met a stranger.
Beautiful.
And everybody was a brother from another mother or a sister from another mister.
I love it.
Um, yeah, hospital was like Grand Central Station. It's like, who is that? Like everyone comes to see my husband, Leonard Wayne Larramore. So
I love it.
he will leave a lasting impression on you. So he's my angel, most definitely.
Well, thank you so much for taking
Oh,
time out of your schedule to share just a glimpse of who your husband was and who you are and the legacy that you both have created and you're running with. As
okay.
somebody on the outside looking in, I just want you to know that for me as a fellow warrior, it was encouraging to see someone that even in the midst of something that could have overwhelmed you to the point that it crippled you, it
Mm,
didn't. So
mm,
I'm like, I won't dare, even on those days when I'm not, I don't ever say I have bad days, I just haven't feel as effervescent. On those
okay.
days where I'm not feeling as effervescent,
Mm.
you are hope
Oh,
that even in the midst of, it's still an opportunity to be better and still find joy, even in darkness. And sometimes we have to be that inner light. And I just need you to know that we
oh,
see you and you're making a difference. And you have such a beautiful spirit. And of course, you're just a beautiful woman on the outside, but your spirit is so beautiful.
thank
And the way that you have expressed love and honor for your husband is such a testament of not only of a great man that he was, but what God is doing in your life. And it is such an honor to have crossed paths with you. I look forward to seeing how your story continues to unfold. Definitely want to partner with you to help you
thank
exceed your
you.
1,000. And you're just phenomenal. And you are such a strong woman, but you're doing it with such class and such grace. And you just make it look so pretty because you don't look like anything that you have been through. Now, when I saw your picture, I said, oh my gosh, she's so pretty, right?
Thank
Because
you.
you took what could have just been the end to some people's story, right? And you took it and made it a mission. And not just
Mm,
a personal mission for self, but to bless others. And for that, I celebrate you and I salute you 100%. You are phenomenal. And
thank you.
you truly are the epiphany of triumphing in the midst of tragedy. You're standing and you're thriving and you're just excellence personified. And I'm just so thankful for the opportunity to have gotten to speak with you. And I pray that this won't be the last time we connect. Keep fighting, keep pushing, keep thriving. You make this walk look beautiful. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much. And good
Yes,
luck
ma'am.
on your
Thank you.
let's get this kidney for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, sometimes when we're on this journey, we may not always get to the destination, the route we want. But the goal is to finish and to finish strong. Don't allow kidney disease or any other chronic illness or life challenge to rob you of who you are. Continue to be strong, continue to be amazing, continue to fight and push. Don't quit, don't give in. And on those days where it does not seem like you're going to win and overcome, you will. And if you are a caregiver, don't give up on your loved one. Know that they appreciate you. They appreciate what you do. Keep fighting. You have a group of people rooting for you and your loved one to win. I love you all. Let's continue to not only kick butt, but let's smash kidney disease and any other chronic illness. Let's be our own healthcare advocate and let's be each other's village. You are amazing and I love you all. See you next week on Sisters Against Kidney Disease.